Welcome, dear listeners, to the Beautiful Chords podcast, where we embark on a captivating journey through the lives of ordinary individuals who have achieved extraordinary feats through their strong beliefs. I'm your host, Himani, and I'm thrilled to have you join us on this inspiring adventure. I am delighted to welcome a powerhouse to the studio. She's a career and a well-being coach, founder of Veda, a certified EFT trainer, an Ayurvedic enthusiast, and an Indian head massage practitioner, all while living a dedicated vegan lifestyle and running her vegan channel. Her holistic therapies have transformed countless lives, helping them achieve balance and fulfillment. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Roshni Bhambra.
Thank
Welcome
you
on the
so
show,
much.
Roshni.
I absolutely love that introduction. Thank you, Himani. I really appreciate
Thank you so much. I'm still trying though.
it.
All right, Roshni, can you share a bit about your journey and how you've come to embody so many unique roles together?
Well, I moved to New Zealand 8 years ago and I got into sort of career and employment coaching. And I think my journey in career coaching, EFT, which is emotional freedom tapping, Ayurvedic Indian head massage, and content creation has been about, I guess, following my passions and finding ways to help all different types of people in different areas of life. And I think it all started with my love for supporting others. And that's really important to me because I really wanted to see other people succeed and feel confident in themselves. So, career coaching was a natural fit in terms of what I do as my full time role and helping clients figure out what they want and guiding them into finding their goals and what's important for them is really, really rewarding. And incorporated with that, I realized how important well-being was as well, emotional well-being, which led me to EFT, which is emotional freedom tapping. And it's been an amazing therapy that has helped clients work through stress or limiting beliefs using simple but a powerful technique. So it's a tool. And then I guess with my Ayurvedic interest, I come from a Hindu background. So I guess Ayurveda has always been stemmed in my upbringing, from drinking turmeric tea to having khichdi when you are not well. You know how Indian mothers do it.
Of course,
And
yeah.
yeah, and it's naturally healing and it inspired me to
Hmm.
learn Indian head massage, but it also inspired me to learn more about Ayurveda. So content creation is kind of where I tie everything together. So that's how each of the roles allow me to be creative in its own way, but kind of it fits in nicely and they've all kind of come together on my journey.
Talking to you definitely gave me such good and positive things because I truly feel it has been a beautiful journey from your side, Roshni. And I'm
Yeah.
so glad that we have you on the show today.
Thank you
Woohoo!
so much.
So, how do your diverse passions like Ayurveda, career coaching, vegan advocacy, and your head massage therapy, how do they all connect with each other?
I think the way that they connect with each other is because when I do, if we're talking about career coaching
Mhm.
and freegan, so freegan is one of my, so I do content creation and I've got my personal page where I'm a content creator, and then I've got my freegan page, which is vegan, free from animal cruelty. And women's rights, I love women empowerment and Indian head massage. It all comes down to one thing, and it's helping and supporting people live a healthier, happy, but a more empowered life. I think that's really important. The Ayurvedic, I guess, philosophy has taught me the importance of balance between mind, body, and spirit. And I think that idea flows into everything that I do, whether it's career coaching and helping people find their purpose, or feeling confident in choices, or emotional freedom tapping, EFT, or Indian head massage.
Can you explain a bit more about EFT, emotional freedom tapping? It's a very new
Yeah.
concept. Honestly, I haven't heard much about it. Can our
No.
listeners hear a
Yeah,
bit
so
more from your side, please?
yeah, so EFT tapping is emotional freedom tapping. So I went on a course where I got certified, and it basically uses your acupressure points around your certain meridians on your body. And I got really into it because I was watching celebrities on screen, and we've got some of our Bollywood celebrities like Salman Khan who use it to like singers like Pink. And what I was thinking is when they go on stage and they're about to perform, they will always tap certain points, and you'll notice they'll start to tap certain points, and it's actually you tapping your certain acupressure points around your body. So each point is connected to like your lungs or your liver, and so you've got certain points around your body. So you can actually work. So how I incorporate EFT is when I do career coaching, I implement EFT, especially when I'm working with clients who are dealing with anxiety or nerves, because during interview skills, for example, and they find they struggle with anxiety when they're about to go for an interview and when they're going to get interviewed or phone interview or a video interview. So just teaching them some techniques and some statements to help them through it and guide them through it. And they will notice that if they're feeling quite anxious, so if they're sitting at, if you get them to rate how anxious they're feeling. So for example, out of 10, they might say they're feeling a 10. Once they start tapping and following a sequence, that number will start to drop down. And ideally, we want to get someone to a 2, because then you kind of reset your central nervous system. So it's such a powerful tool to use. The reason I love EFT is because it's the one complementary therapy. When you're working on people, you're doing a lot of energy exchange, but EFT is the one complementary therapy that as you're working on someone, so I could do a session with you, Himani, but I'm
Of
clearing my own
course,
energy
need
at
to.
the same
Yeah, yeah,
time.
yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely. Now that
yeah.
we're speaking about it, I wish we
Yeah.
could have done a video recording of this. Why just to
Next
limit this to
podcast.
audio?
Yeah.
So just like your beautiful name, Roshni, and what it indicates, definitely you bring radiance in people's life, and
Ah,
that's
thank
so
you so much.
so good.
Credit
Yes.
goes to my mum.
Wow, of course, all the time. Yeah, I truly believe our moms have been like the wind below our wings throughout. All the
Absolutely.
time, yeah. That's
Yeah.
I because she's been my supporter. She's had my back all the time, no matter whatever I've
Yeah.
done and no matter whatever I've gone through, ups and downs. She's definitely the wind beneath my wings. I owe so much to her.
Oh, I love that. But also, it's a testament to how you are. It's all because of your mum,
Yes,
right? You
surely.
don't realize.
Mhm.
I think for us as well, because we're so, I guess, far away from our parents, it
Yes,
makes you appreciate them more. Since I've been here, I obviously the timings can be a bit difficult, but
absolutely. Yeah.
I do. Yeah, it's important for me.
Yes. Wonderful. We're on the same page. The stars are aligned. We've got the same chemistry. So let's keep on going.
Lovely.
Roshni, can you walk us through a typical day of your Ayurvedic routine? And what do you think are some of the basic Ayurvedic principles or practices that beginners can incorporate into their daily lifestyle to help them live a better life?
Yeah. I just want to say, in terms of routine, everyone has a different routine, and you've got to find a routine that works for you. I used to sit there watching so many YouTube channels, trying to do what everyone else does, but you've got to find what fits for your journey and your life. But in terms of mine, especially following the Ayurvedic way, is the first thing I do is I get up obviously, I get up first thing in the morning. I've changed my alarm clock. And the reason I find this is really important is because I have an iPhone, and I find iPhone alarm clocks are very quite, I'm trying to think of the right word. They're not the nicest to wake up to. They sound like you're being attacked. So I've changed it to something really soothing, because when we wake up, the first thing we want to do is wake up feeling really good. That's
Yes,
important.
not to
And
wake up to a horror scene in the morning.
I absolutely. As soon as I get up, it's really important that I say a prayer of gratitude, and me and my husband we've been incorporating that since we've been married, so 10 years. So we always say a prayer of gratitude, and then we like to set an intention for our day, because that's really important, and it's an affirmation or goal and something you're going to achieve. Once we do that, we get out of bed. He's already gone to work, so I have bathroom to myself. Get out of the bed, I go downstairs and I brush my teeth, and while I brush my teeth, I actually listen to affirmations. And the reason I listen to affirmations, I'm brushing my teeth for 2 minutes, but they're actually affirmations that I recorded myself. So it's me saying them.
Wow. So is that in your own voice?
Yeah, correct. I used to listen to affirmations generally on YouTube, which you can do. But then I
Mhm.
thought, why don't I just create affirmations of me saying it? Because it makes it more real. I'm confident, I believe in myself, because worthy was something I was struggling with. So once I do that, and once I brush my teeth, I do a tongue scraper. I
Yep.
forgot to mention. That's the first thing I do. And that's
And that's
really,
also
really
part of
important.
your Ayurvedic ritual?
Correct. So you can get a copper tongue scraper and you can get a silver tongue scraper. I would always recommend the copper tongue scraper. But think about it. You've been sleeping all night. There's been so many toxins that have built in your tongue. And the
Yeah.
first thing, if you went to see a practitioner, they would do a tongue analysis. So you want to make sure you're scraping your tongue and taking that out and eliminating all of that. Then you would brush your teeth. And once I brush my teeth, there's two things I do at the same time, because I want to make sure I'm using my time wisely. So I will then do oil pulling. So that's when I put a tablespoon of oil in your mouth. So I used to use coconut oil, but I find black seed oil is amazing for me. It just
Wow.
works wonders. So, and I will tell you where this is all from, because most of my products are from one place. So I use black seed oil. And once I'm doing that, I do it for about 10, I can now go to 15 to 20 minutes. But once you're starting off, you are swishing oil around in your mouth. Now, it is hard for people because you're kind of grabbing everything, your saliva.
Sure.
So starting with 2 minutes, starting with 1 minute is brilliant. And the biggest advice I can give you is make sure you don't spit it down your drain. You've got to spit it into a bin, because you don't want to clog your drain up as well. That's important. A tip.
That's a wellness tip from Roshni, guys.
I know, that's a tip. Once during I oil pull, because I'm doing it for 15-20 minutes, I then will get some Ayurvedic oil based on my dosha. And in Ayurveda, we have different constitutions, so you fall under 3 doshas. So you either can be a vata, a pitta, or a kapha. So I'm a
Yeah.
kapha, and I did mine through a practitioner. And I have an oil, a body oil that's made specifically for the kapha dosha. So what I do is, while I'm oil pulling, I will just drop some oil in my hand, and I do preferably like it warm. And then I'll do an Abhyanga massage on my body.
So
Okay.
is Abhyanga not supposed to be a dry body massage, or it's meant to be
No.
with the oil?
You can do it with oil as well. Ideally, it depends on your body type as well. I find
Right.
oil really works for me because I've had an ankle injury. So for me, the lymphatic side with oil is really good. But again, I would recommend people to really have a look at what dosha they would fit in, because some people recommend different oils as well. So it really depends. So I would do an Abhyanga massage. That's really important. Once I let that sit on me, so that's all on my body, I will then go for a shower, come out, and then just get into some really, really comfortable clothes, because that's important. Once I get into my comfortable clothes, I will then take a seat. So, fed the dogs, done all that, aired the house is open, and I will go outside and just take a couple of breaths outside, because I like to get the vitamin D straight into my face. That's important. Take some deep breaths, do some breath work, and then I come back in and I will make a CCFT. And this is my everyday morning digestive tea, which is incredible. This changed my life.
Can you
This
explain CFT
Yes.
to our viewers,
So
please? Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. So CCF is basically 3 amazing powerhouse spices. It's cumin, coriander, and fennel seeds. And what you can do is just basically take half a cup of each or a cup of each, put them together, shake it up. So then every morning what you would do is just take a tablespoon and put it on the hob with some water and just boil it. And then you would sieve it. So then you get the water and you get all the goodness. And what that basically does is that balances balances all your doshas and helps with your Agni as well. So the armor that you have in your body. And not to put any claims, but for me, it really helped with, I dealt with a difficult time during acid reflux, during dealing with GERD. And this was amazing. This has been a game changer. So this is something I do every day. So once I have my CCFT, as my CCFT is cooling down, I've taken a seat. I will literally just take some breaths and I will then start to journal. And that's important for me.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I do the same, but I do it at the end of the day when my
Yeah.
kids go to sleep. Yeah.
It's
But
lovely. I do like night journaling, and sometimes I will journal in the evening as well if I feel like I've had such a busy day and my mind is so busy that I need to put it down on paper. But I like to journal first thing so I know I've done it. And then I will do some pranayamas and breath work. And that's something I incorporated in the whole mindfulness, because I found the stuff that I'm dealing with on a personal level and, going through my own personal journey, there's certain pranayamas that really helped me and certain breath work that really helped me because I have a very overactive mind.
But that
So
says you have such a strong routine, Roshni, and not just a strong routine, you also have such a disciplined lifestyle. And there's this
I
book that I'm
do.
reading, Atomic Habits. I just recently bought it.
Oh, I love it. It's
It
one of my
is
favorite
so good.
books.
It is just so
It's so
awesome.
good.
It is a total game changer for me, honestly.
It
And
is.
one
It
of
is.
the beautiful quotes said by the author is that success is not an overnight thing. It is an
No,
accumulation of everyday habits. So I
it is.
truly this
It
resonates
took
with what you're
me
talking right now.
It honestly, I'm just going to say for me, it didn't even become a routine. It's now become a ritual and I say a ritual because I do little things to make it falls under self-care. So for me, not only is following the Ayurvedic sort of lifestyle, but I'm also able to create beautiful content around it. I light a fire, Roshni meaning light. I light a
Yes.
candle every morning for
Yes.
God,
Hmm.
you know. When I'm about to meditate, because I put meditation in there as well. When I'm about to meditate, I will always light a candle. I will always do, we call it agarbatti, which is called incense sticks
Yep.
in our house.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
something that happens, and that's
Hmm.
being brought up every day. So these Ayurvedic routines are really important. And then one thing also I find that's really helped me is drinking out of a copper bottle. So I have my normal bottles that I drink out from, which are not plastic, but copper bottles are just want to mention that.
Naturally, you're
Yeah.
an advocate for vegan.
I
Why
know, I know. Well, I
what
get
is in your
plastic. Just
house?
had to mention that. I know. Copper bottles are incredible, and it's a really good investment. And the idea of a copper bottle is you fill it up with water, but you leave it overnight, so it gets 8 hours for little particles of the copper to infuse into the water, and then you would drink through it. So then throughout the day, I sip it, and it's just amazing. Yeah.
Wow, so good. So this is all that we spoke about your introduction, your background, and your Ayurvedic rituals. Now let's just touch base on your professional journey. So as a
Yeah.
career coach, how do you incorporate your holistic wellness, your holistic rituals into your session? Because I believe not everybody would be okay. Do you think any of your client or all of your client are okay with these practices, or do they really have an issue, or they're not
Um,
comfortable with this? Because
I
now there are two different parts to it, right?
yeah.
So,
No, no, absolutely. I think that's a brilliant question. To be honest, one of the things I always get asked is, and I'll be very honest here, with my career coaching, I tend to work with people of color. It's just a very special connection to me because I know how difficult it can be in New Zealand.
exactly.
And they tend to be 95% of my clients are people of color. And when I work with them, one of the questions you always get asked is, how long have you been doing this for? Is this your full-time job? Do you have any certificates? And I will say, actually, it's something I do, yes, full-time, but it's part-time because I have other businesses. And they will ask what else I do, and I mention it. And I've always had people going, oh, I've heard about that, especially being brought up maybe in India, they know about certain Ayurvedic principles because in India you get taught. I was reading a book, and apparently when you're born in India, you get taught Ayurvedic principles in schools. You can be taught yoga as part of some of your classes. You you can be taught about certain Ayurvedic rituals, whether it's pranayamas or asanas. I don't know. This is something I was told, which I found really interesting because it's not something you get taught here. But I will always mention it, but I will never push someone into doing it until they're ready, because I always feel there's a time and a place. To incorporate an Indian head massage in career coaching, it can be challenging because they're completely two separate things, and most of my clients want to talk.
Yeah.
However, the interesting thing is
This is
I
touching
might
some other tangent altogether.
I know. However, the interesting thing is I could be speaking to a client for career coaching, and they might be dealing with something that day. They might be dealing with a bit of anxiety. So not only I can incorporate the EFT tapping points, but I can tell them to press some Mudama points on there.
Okay.
While we're talking, if you were one of my clients, I can say, okay, I'm just going to get you to take a few deep breaths so I can get them to do some breath work with me. So it just resets their central nervous system. So that's how I can incorporate it.
And it's easy. Is it possible through the video calling, or do they come to see you at your place?
In terms of when I'm doing career coaching, that's easy. Like I can tell you right now, if I'm telling some viewers what they were to, for example, if they're feeling down or stressed, or let's say one question I always get is, hair growth, for example,
Yes.
and someone wants
We'll
to talk
talk
about.
about it as well.
Yeah, I know. Hair growth. I always say, you've got some Mudama points, but, a really good way is to find your highest point on your scalp.
Yeah.
And a way to do that is you can just balance a ruler and it will tell you the highest point on your scalp.
Is
And
that
this is
what you call
where,
the crown of your head, or?
yeah, no. So it's actually the crown. It's one of your Mudama points, and
Yeah.
you just need to rub it daily. And we don't give enough attention to it. You just need to kind of rigorously rub it every day. And also, one of the stress points, if you're dealing with anxiety and stress, you can actually just press your third eye, and you can also press just between your two eyes and press up as well. So there's certain points that can help an individual as well, which is amazing. So they don't have to come and see me because it's a career coaching call.
So, what are the most common challenges your clients face in terms of your career coaching? Is it just about getting a new job or into their relationship? What sort of questions do they come up with?
CVs is a challenge right now because things
Hmm.
have really changed. So one challenge I've noticed is when you have, like I said, most of my clients, 95% are people from abroad. And when they come to me, they will say, we've applied for 50 jobs and we've not
Yes.
had any luck. And when I
And
look
this
at the
is a
CV,
common problem, honestly. Yeah.
correct, it
It's
is.
not
But
something that everybody can nail at.
correct, absolutely. And I say I can pick up straight away, because also you got to understand is employers will take 5 to 10 seconds to scan a CV. If it's not pulling the information that they want to see, then if it's not basically mimicking the job description, then there's a yes and a no pile. There's not a maybe pile. Okay. So that's probably the reason. So also when you do apply for a job, your CV tends to be formatted to how you're used to doing it. So for example, one of my clients was from the UK, and I could just tell the CV was very formatted to the teachings that we used to teach in the UK. It's not really designed for New Zealand.
Industry. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So it's really kind of dealing with that change and transforming that for them. And the other one is interview skills. Interview skills is a really big one, because I find I will support a client. So I will never do a client CV. I will support a client on their journey. So, when they don't need me anymore, and a year down the line, they go, oh, I want to do a CV. I remember the tools Roshni taught me. That's what I want. I want them to be empowered and have that confidence. And once they've done the CV and they're applying for jobs and they get the interviews, it's the interview, because you've actually got your foot in through the door. You've done the hardest part, which is the CV. You've gone up against 200-300 people. So this is your time to shine. So
Wow.
people
Yes.
don't know their own. What I've learned is I'm a confident individual and I know my skill set, but I also know areas I can work on. Like I know my weaknesses, and it's a strength to know your weakness. And I think it's not telling someone theirs. I think it's allowing them to see it and know that it can be turned into a strength, and for them to be their best version of themselves in an interview, and knowing that if they come out of that interview and it wasn't the job, they didn't get the role, I always say every no is closer to a yes.
And that's such a positive approach you take towards life.
Correct. It's important because it wasn't, there's a really good quote that I live by. It's if it goes your way, it's God's direction. If it doesn't go your way, it was God's protection.
Yes. And I
And
truly
I
believe in
love
it.
that quote.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
I wish we met before, Roshni. I
I
wish we met
know.
sometime earlier because I'm also a graphic designer by profession. Now, that is my full-time job. When we moved here in New Zealand, that was in February 2018. After
Yeah.
finishing my course, when I was looking for jobs, I got rejected by at least by 50 or 70 companies. And
Wow.
honestly, a few of them were the places where I was really looking forward to. Like that was a dream role I wanted.
Mm.
So, not different people, different advice. It's like so many cooks spoil the food. It was that kind of a situation with me.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
as a graphic designer, I knew I wanted a CV
Yeah.
which shows what kind of a portfolio and what kind of a design skills I hold, right? So initially when I started, I made CV in a Word document, like it was just worded, nothing else, and very and
Yeah.
nicely formatted as well. But somebody else said me, "Hey, you're a designer. Why do you have a Word document kind, right? You need to make something creative." I said, "That's not the way New Zealand industry works." So I made one which was really nice, eye catchy. It had everything very clear, nicely formatted. So I went to the interview. He said, "Well, it's too flashy. You should have a sober CV."
Well, you obviously, but the thing is, he obviously liked something because you went for the interview.
Exactly. Not that ways, right? Everybody has their own perspective. Then I went to another and I reformatted everything and I made a very nicely with light pale colors and made a very decent kind of a CV. So the other person said, "It's not flashy at all. It is very
Oh my
just
God.
too bland." I'm like, I need a job, right? I don't need
I would encourage any graphic designers to do too and send it to the same employer. Say, I don't know if you're really into something fancy and that shows me, or, but the other, talking about that, when I was in the UK, my CV had a photo of me.
Well,
And when
that
I
happens
came,
in India as well. Trust me. But
yeah,
there as well.
yeah, it works
Yeah.
in London, it works in the UK. But when I came here, it wasn't like I was told to take it off. So I did take it off, and there's many I'm glad. So I did take it off. But I think when it comes to someone like a graphic designer or someone in art or fashion, I think it is important showing your creativity or art. But again, it does depend who you're going to get. As long as you're following the generic regulations of how CVs are done, ATS regulated, all of that now. Yeah.
Well, it takes time to understand and realize this.
Yeah, it really does. Now I completely understand.
Initially, it was a phase of going through and also growing in that. So it
Yeah.
did take a toll on my life, honestly. But
Yeah.
it was a phase which passed on beautifully, and I'm so grateful for it.
Oh, awesome.
All right. So, how did the idea of your vegan Instagram channel come about? What was your story? What was your mission in your head?
I so many people ask me when I became vegan. So I actually moved to New Zealand and became vegan. So I was a vegetarian for quite some time, and then I used to delve into everything, but I became vegetarian, and then once we moved out here, I realized that actually it was challenging coming from London where there's so many vegan options, but I guess a lot of it was processed. I had to cook here a lot more.
Really?
Yeah, so I had to actually so you can go to the UK, you can go into one of the shops, shopping centres, food malls like called Tesco's, for example, and you will get a whole aisle of vegan food. So you could get 25 different vegan cheeses, whereas here you'll get 3 or 2. So it does make it more difficult here. And I said, I want to eliminate, because I'm a sort of person who's about really nourishing their soul with good food. So I was like, okay, I need to make sure that I'm prepping my food properly and I'm creating some really, really good, nourishing food. And my husband, he still likes to eat the odd meat, and he does, but not at home. What I appreciate about him is his intake of meat has completely dropped.
Mm.
And that's by choice. And he said to me, it's because you cook really, really good food. And I do. I enjoy it and I have a passion for cooking. And I did do a chefing course to learn how to upskill my sort of cooking. So I started to make dishes.
Actually focusing on your vegan lifestyle, the chefing.
Correct.
Wow.
Correct. So I started to, so it's like now I'm at this stage where everything I make, I pretty much make from scratch. So like cheese sauces, when I make my own pasta, the only thing I would literally buy is all my fruit and veg is from the farmer's market. I won't buy anything from the supermarket. And then like all my sauces, I will home make. All my salad dressings, I will home make. All my curries, I would home make.
You
My
only
body.
you make my mouth water. I'm coming to your home tonight for
Come to my
dinner.
house, come, Aja. But
For
I
sure.
thought, it was interesting because I was having a conversation with a friend who was talking about a brand, and she was talking about how much she spends on this brand, and I won't mention the names, but she was talking about how much it costs her to buy food, and there's a service that sends food to your house. Well, sends items, and you have to cook it,
Yes.
and it's on a weekly basis. And when I said
Let's
to her,
not
I said,
mention the name.
and I said, wow, that's about $22, $23 per
Per
person. You can
person
go
it
to,
is, yeah.
I said, you could go to a restaurant per person. And she said, it's convenient. And I said, okay. So I showed her a couple of my meals, and she just loves my cooking. My meals come to, when I work it out with me and Sat, now bearing in mind it is just two of us, but I work out the total cost of how much everything has cost us. Usually my meals are about $4, $4.50. I know. So I'm actually in the process of
Well, you financially
creating.
plan it so very well.
Do you know what it is? I buy in season.
Yeah.
I didn't used to. It took me ages. I would buy everything that was on a deal because I would go, I'm used to my mum going, not one onion, let's buy the bag of onions for $15. But I really don't need that bag of onions. I don't have the space. So I literally buy.
It's just not on sale, mom. It's also on clearance. Let's
It's clearance. Let's buy 10.
Is that
Uh,
all of this information already loaded onto your Freegan channel?
Some of my stuff is, but I
Mm.
will be very, very honest. My Freegan channel, I've got back into it. I did take a bit of a gap and a
Which is
pause,
okay, which is fine.
which is completely fine. And I'm someone who really listens to my intuition. Sometimes we just need that break. And I was feeling very overwhelmed with
Absolutely.
so much. And this is why I do meditate. And this is why I do mindfulness, because I need that time. I'm getting back into it, and I'm going to start actually creating dishes that you can make really quick and easy, but healthy, that you can make from scratch. Like, it can be sauces. I made something divine yesterday, and
Before we move to the next question, Roshni, remember I'm coming to your place tonight for dinner, okay?
okay, you are. That's fine.
Wow. And also you're a content creator because that we have seen you through all your Facebook posts and all your Instagram
Yes.
stories. So what is the core message you want your audience to take away from your content? It does not be related to your freegan, but related to your
No.
holistic therapies, your wellness approach, or anything.
Yeah, so I've got my Freegan, which is Freegan 2019, which I launched in 2019. And then I've got my Pure Sensational, which is my actual professional personal page. And I say that because that's where I do my content creation work. With me, the truth is, I actually went through grief. So I went through 2 losses in 2019. I went through a miscarriage and a stillbirth. And through that time, it was a very difficult period for me. And then we went into lockdown, and I thought I need to do something because it's very easy to fall down. For someone like me, it was very easy for me to not manage my mental health and start feeling depressed and not being able to deal with grief and family so far away. So I started to get really creative in creating content. And that's how I got into the journey of creating content. In terms of what my content is, there isn't a specific niche because I don't believe I'm just a niche. I'm not just beauty, and I'm not just fashion, and I'm not just perfumes. I'm actually a bit of everything. Solely everything is vegan on that channel because I am vegan. I'm not going to promote non-vegan products, but I do talk about vegan skincare because skincare is self-care, is part of my morning ritual. In the night is an evening ritual. I do talk about vegan food because it's about nourishing my soul. I talk about my vegan teas. I talk about mindfulness, journaling, just loving yourself, being outside, doing mindfulness outside. I talk about my dog. I talk about everything that fuels my soul. And because that's true to me.
So basically, two major losses, which was
Correct.
not easy, I'm sure. And
Correct.
lockdown has been a turning point in your life, which actually curated this version of Roshni that we're all watching today.
Yeah,
Yes.
correct.
Yeah.
I'm very blessed. I know people always, send their sympathies and stuff, but I always try and look at the positives. And I think things happen for a reason. And if I didn't go through that, I won't be the person I am today. After that, that's when my meditation area was made, my reading nook was made. There was a lot of things that changed for me after, and I really started to connect on a spiritual level after going through that. And
I'm
I'm very, very grateful for him. Oh, he was a boy, by the way. I was very grateful for him, and he's still part of me. His soul is around, and he gives me the strength to do what I do.
so beautiful is that. So that has been your transformation journey in the last 4 years.
Correct.
And I'm sure they
Correct.
will always live with you no matter wherever they
Ah,
are.
absolutely. Ah, of course. Of course.
So, because you're also a certified head massager, can you
Yeah.
share a few tips for listeners to practice simple self massage techniques at home, especially when they're dealing in the stressful time?
As an Indian head massage practitioner, I would say it's really important to start, even if you take 5 minutes a day in the morning. So, after maybe brushing your teeth, or even if you haven't got the time, because some of us are rushing around in the morning, which I totally understand, in the evening when you're watching TV. And that's where literally just start massaging your scalp and massaging your head. You can do it just with your tips, and you can do it without oil. Another couple of things that you can do as well is when we work on the scalp, it's really important to kind of put your hands through and just pull your hair. This actually stimulates hair growth, so pull it. Look at my hair. It feels amazing.
Of
It does
course.
feel amazing.
It looks good and it feels good for sure.
And also, if you literally just put your little finger between your
Yeah.
eyebrows and you go four up, and then you go two up, and then it's your third point just there. You rub that. This can stimulate your hair growth. This is one of your marama points.
Wow.
So you just press on that. So if you just keep rubbing it, pressing on it, tap it,
Yeah.
and this can stimulate hair. So you can do these techniques just at home yourself, but better would be get someone else. So you can get your partner. Obviously, feel free, because with me you get a sensorial whole, massage. You get the cleansing, and I like, with me, when I do it, I bring the crystals, and I like to do a whole cleansing ritual and beautiful music. I have the flute of Krishna playing. So you can actually just get your partner to do it, because it's nice to have someone else do it for you.
It's
It
truly
really
having
does.
somebody who can do this for you completely makes a difference.
Oh, it's beautiful. It
Well,
feels so good. And even better, another one, if you can just kind of lie down, which I think is amazing, especially if you are dealing with stress. Because what's really good is if you're dealing with a headache, actually, and stress, if you lie down with your sort of head kind of over the bed and your hair flicked over, your blood will rush to your head, which is what you want,
yeah,
right? Which is great.
yeah.
Again, if you're dealing with headaches, the points here, just in between your eyes, if you just press them, it is amazing. And you can also press around the eyebrows as well, which is really, really good. So the certain points, yeah, that you can do.
So good to know that, Roshni. Now,
Thank you.
given the fact that we have discussed so much about you, your journey, your
Yeah.
professional, your personal, so much. So, with such a multifaceted life, how do you maintain a balance and prevent burnout?
Mindfulness,
Hmm.
meditation, and journaling. And like I mentioned earlier on the podcast, Himani, everyone knows me as being this extrovert, but
Yes.
I couldn't do all of these things and Satnam will tell you I'm actually such an introvert at home. I couldn't do all of these things if I didn't
Our
take the
partners
time out for
know
myself.
as the best here.
They really do, right?
Yeah.
I have to have this time to myself every day. If I don't, I can't be the best version of myself.
For sure.
And that's really important.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sitting in silence. Everyone, my dad would be like, you talk so much. And I do. But actually, as a coach, I do listen really well, but also it's because I learned to sit in silence. I actually don't shy away being in my own company. And
I
one thing
feel
I
the
will,
same. Yeah. Like,
yeah,
I love
yeah,
being in my own company. I can
I love
spend
it.
days and days alone. Would never feel bored
Yeah,
being alone.
no,
It's all right. I enjoy my company and I can keep myself busy as well.
yeah, true. And I find, if I'm alone and I go, okay, what I'm going to do now, instead of being creative, I can just take some time. But one thing I do like to do, which is my thing, is I love doing Sudoku. Like, I'm obsessed. Obviously, it's training my brain,
Yes.
but I'm away from my phone because, bearing in mind, my job is all through my phone.
Yes.
So I try and take as much time away from my phone
Yeah,
as I can. Yeah.
absolutely. Of course, because we spend so much of time being on screen.
And I forgot to add one more thing as well,
Mm,
because this is
sure.
part of my daily journey. Not only it's back to my one thing I do every day, which is, it is part of Ayurveda because it's getting out, doing your fitness. I'm not someone who's into the gym. I have never been a gym person. But the one thing I do is I have a dog. He's gorgeous. He has an Instagram page as well called Simba. And we go for walks every day. So we go to the park. We're normally there for about 45 minutes to an hour. He will run, I will walk. And then we do an evening walk as well in Hobsonville. So we get about 2 hours every day. And then generally just walking, and when you do your normal cleaning around the house. Walking is something I love doing. And it's been difficult for me recently because I've injured my ankle. I've not been able
Yes.
to walk
And
or
you're with the
drive.
moon boot on, even
With
now?
really sexy moon boots.
Yeah.
Yes, I can. I still have it on, but I can now walk without it. But it did teach me something. It happened just before Christmas, and I was devastated. I couldn't drive. It was my right foot. Couldn't go for walks. Couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
But I said, okay, I can either be really down about this, or I can go, you know what? Maybe this is the universe telling me to slow down.
Exactly. That was I was about to say. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it was. So going for walks and doing a little bit of yoga when I can, I love. But that's another way, mindfulness. What's 5 things I can see? What's 4 things I can hear? What's 3 things I can touch? Doing mindfulness and listening to podcasts when I walk, I love. That's another way that I have my time to make sure I deliver the most amazing results to my clients and do the best that I can.
Oh, that is so wonderful. So, what advice would you give to someone looking to pursue a path which is as diverse as yours and at the very same time it's so much fulfilling as well?
It is. And I think it's really important to understand what really truly, I'm not even saying this as a career coach, but really truly understand what fuels your soul.
Yeah.
Like, what
Mhm.
makes you happy? What's something I'm not saying do it for free, but what's something you could actually do and think, I won't even charge for that because it makes my soul happy. Because then that's when you know that that's something you really love doing and you want to pursue. I think also have a really good strategic plan around it. And this is something I learned later on. Because I'm someone who has 20 things going at once, it can be quite overwhelming.
I know, because all those tabs open in the brain, it is so
Oh,
overwhelming all the
it
time.
is.
Yeah.
So it would be worth looking at a support system. So, having that support. So going to a coach, not necessarily me, I'm a career coach, but there's loads of amazing coaches out there who can support you on your journey and take it slowly with you. And just kind of have an idea of what you're wanting to accomplish, what's your end goal, and figure out your why. Your why is so important. That's key.
Finding your real purpose, basically.
100%.
And
Absolutely.
that's
I'm 38 and it took me such a long time, but you know what? There's
it is
no,
okay. We're all in the same age. We don't need to
I
worry
know,
about it, but we're still gorgeous
no,
and good looking and
I,
happy in our own
we are
We are, yes. And that's an affirmation we should be using every day in the morning
correct.
while we're brushing.
Yeah.
Yes.
While you're looking in the mirror, it's
Yeah.
an amazing tool. I get my clients to do that because it's actually really
Yes.
challenging.
I'm such a badass, looking in the
Yeah, yeah.
mirror. My
I'm
first
such a badass.
affirmations. Yeah.
I'm sexy.
Truly. It goes without say, okay? So, Roshni, what Ayurvedic products do you swear by? And you would love to share this with the listeners here.
So I use an amazing Ayurvedic hair scalp oil. It's fantastic, as well as I used a amazing Kalayang shampoo. But I have managed to purchase these from a company that I can highly recommend called Ayurveda in Parnell. I know that something I mentioned earlier is with the Ayurvedic lifestyle, it's really important to figure out what dosha you are. So you could be a Vata, a Pitta, or you could do Kapha. You could actually go online to Ayurveda's website and they have a skin type quiz. Or you could actually book in to see a practitioner. He's amazing. His name's Dr. Ajit, and do a consultation with him. And he will go through a tongue analysis, everything with you. It's so fascinating, but he will also tell you which dosha you will fall under, because then you're not just spending money on products that may not work for you. Of course, of
Wonderful,
course.
Roshni. It was so lovely having you on the show.
Thank
It
you.
feels so good talking to you. Your incredible journey and the wealth of knowledge you have shared seems truly a blessing. From your work as a career and a well-being coach to your passion for holistic therapies and sustainable living, you've given our listeners plenty to reflect on and learn from. So thank you so much for joining us for today's episode.
Thank you so much for having me today, Himani. I really, really appreciate it. And it's been such a pleasure to share this knowledge with all of you listening. And I truly appreciate the opportunity. And I really, really hope that the listeners find value in what we've discussed today.
Thank you, dear listeners, for joining us on this beautiful journey through today's episode. We hope you have been as inspired as I have by the incredible insights and wisdom shared by our guest today, a true powerhouse in her field. As always, I'm your host Himani, and it's been a privilege to have you with us. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and remember, your story holds the power to change the world.